Hello, my name is SLBerry, and this will be the final build review for the final sprint production assignment in week 4. Uh, so what we'll do is just go ahead and open the Perforce, and I will show in content folder, or show in Explorer, the ca.zip. Go and delete the old one, the one I just uploaded, and extract the new one. And as per the assignment, the first thing that I'll be going over is the menu and pause menu UI. So we'll go ahead and launch the cradleofedge.exe. We'll start with the options menu. So in the options menu, we got graphics resolution settings. Got a nice audio feedback. Change the camera size, or screen size, sorry. And the 2560 will not work for my screen because I don't have that size of a screen. So we'll start with master audio. Basically just turns down the music and so on. Turn that to 25% for now. And the UI volume controls when you highlight buttons, when you change the volume, the tick. So say, basically just the UI. I like that to be up. So when we close the option, all the options will close themselves. We got the level select options, the how to play screen, which basically goes over a quick intro of your overall goals and your controls. Your objective is to simply survive, navigate through the world filled with hostile entities, source scarce resources, and difficult decisions that will shape your journey. Goes over survival basics, exploration, and so on, and then a quick control scheme. The credits menu shows all of the different assets in the game that I've used here within APA formatting as well. And the character customization. Character customization menu, when we click on it, will take us to here. Our UI works pretty well here as well. Tells us how to control the character's rotation, so on. Got little drop downs for our clothing, as well as a clear selection option and a gender option. Go ahead and exit back to the main menu, and we will show the UI in game. So the first thing you'll see is the basic controls prompt one more time, which, in case you didn't look at the controls, will show up for you immediately. The UI is going to proceed to be similar to that. As you look at your first item, it'll tell you how to interact, and as you interact with the item, it will tell you what kind of item you picked up, so on, and how to use it. The pause menu, similar to the main menu, has graphics resolution settings that do the same thing that it does at the main menu, with the same limitations of my screen resolution. You can change the shading, the quality, and so on. The audio settings drop-down controls the master volume and the music volume. As you've seen, they started out at around 25 to 30%. That was loaded from the main menu. When selecting controls, we'll get our controls options again. And when selecting return to main menu, it will close all of the other drop-downs, and if we stop highlighting the main menu, it will close it. Same thing with quit. That completes a full demonstration, or at least partial demonstration, of the UI in Cradle of Bash. Alright, and we'll go ahead and just do a quick, complete playthrough from start to finish. I'll turn my music down, pick up some food. clothing on. And we'll go ahead and complete all of the objectives real quick. Go on upstairs. And we can find our tent and a free fireplace on the top of the roof. So this guy here, he's probably, he looks like he's got one of the logs. Some food, ammunition. Alright. No space for that just right now. I'll come back in just 2 seconds. Alright. Got our gun, tent. I think all we need to do is go downstairs and go get a wall built. We actually need to cut one of these logs out. And you cut up some firewood too to be a wall kit. Not the firewood, the log, the wooden log. And one more. Boom, now we just need to find that last infected. And there he is. So that completes a full playthrough. Actually, no, it doesn't. We have another infected to find, don't we? Another one? Alright, then that completes a full playthrough. Now, it would take us back to the main menu, but I'm going to go to the testing zone. And basically, the testing zone just is here to show off all the items, the storage containers, whatnot. And the clothing. But if you make it here, the game is complete, or you can go back to the main menu or continue. And then the warm zone just demonstrates how warm and cold works. If you're not wearing clothes, you'd be cold over there. Go back to the menu and continue. Second, I will relaunch the game to demonstrate that the save and load of the UI, options like volume and so on, should remain the same. And as you see, they did. So, closing this option, we'll go ahead and cover some of the. I will turn the graphics resolution back down first, the screen size specifically, and we'll go ahead and start the game. I'm going to go over some of the tasks that I've completed in order to uh, get this far in the game's production. So we'll start with starving. I want to understand my character's health state so that I can effectively manage injuries, conditions that affect survival. Inform the player that the character is hurt through visual and sound cues. Uh, some of these were skipped, but hypothermic, feedback for the hypothermia, health, and starving were done. Cold environments without proper clothing will cause your health and so on to decrease over time. Feedback. Changing the color and or the size, uh, fill size of the UI. Visual effects such as blurring or shaking, darkening of the edges of the screen, so on. Audio cues such as heavy breathing or heartbeats. When the character is hungry, cold, we'll have to turn our sound back up. You'll be able to hear that the player gets exasperated or so. They start breathing heavily. That's for low stamina. Critical stats comes up whenever your stats gets below a certain threshold, and then whenever your temperature goes below a certain threshold, you'll also see that you'll get a frozen icon. It really depends on the weather condition. Without the proper weather condition, you won't be cold. So to say, in the improper weather condition, your character will be cold. The health system, healthy, both tie into the starving and indicators of the player. We can go over those quickly, the health system and health, and I will show those a little bit more. They'll come naturally. Um, we do inventory visuals and audio feedback. Basically, what the inventory visuals and audio feedback means is we have our icons that tell us what we have: water, a can of food, a flashlight. We also have shirt, mask, vest, our hoodie, mask, vest, shirt, pants, so on. The audio feedback portion ties into drinking, eating, and so on. When we drink, you'll hear that the character sips on his water, and when we eat, you'll hear him munching on his water or his food. If we live to tell it so. But just like that, you'll hear the visual and audio feedback. The interaction text, which was demonstrated also naturally, character customization menu, which I can go a little more into detail about. So we can switch our characters, the jacket, hoodies, shoes, pants, shoes, so on. And it's been weighted and done to the mesh itself just right that when we switch to our male character, um, it also takes those clothes over to the male character, the ones that we've selected specifically. And if we have nothing on, we'll do nothing. The climbing or vaulting mechanics were slightly worked on. I can demonstrate how the vaulting works. There was no animation included as it was cut, but the vaulting has vaulting assistance where if I was to jump like this, see that the player just kind of smallly jumps. But if I'm jumping toward, sorry, get rid of the menu. If I'm jumping towards an object that has a ledge up, it will raise me up and put me near that object. So it has jumping assistance. And that's kind of how the vaulting works, but with no animation. Smooth camera transitions can show up the camera mode. So smooth camera transitions kind of means that the camera will, instead of just teleporting to either shoulder, it will transfer itself. And same thing for first and third person. The camera transitions smoothly. So that's exactly what that means. Hypothermic right now is a time to demonstrate. Well, I died again, but hypothermia, as you've seen in the bottom right corner, my player was cold. So right away, the player's cold, player's hungry, player's thirsty. You'll need to get stuff for your player to survive, and quickly. That's why it's right in front of you. But I'm cold, so I'm gonna keep dying. You're gonna have to act fast. The base building system is actually really cool. I'll go ahead and try to skip past some people. Actually get some clothes on. If I can do this without dying. Alright, I should live here to tell a tale now. My health should stop going down. And it didn't. Implement base building system with customization options. I'll quickly try to go over the base building system. So what we'll need to do is get ourselves some food and whatnot right away. And once you can get yourself sustained, where did my food go? Did I throw it on the ground? Oh, I ate it. Okay. So we can go ahead and go find the base building. Base building works in a way of you have to collect your tools and then you have to collect the resources as well. Like by cutting trees. But we'll take the wire nails, kind of show off what all this does here. Our storage containers hold things like I need to put my water away, whatever. And we'll turn the music or turn the sound up. Got it turned down because it's pretty loud sometimes. And so it'll take you 4 logs to build a wall. We'll come around to the more advanced way here in a second, but this is just a pre-furbished wall for the tutorial to make it easy. And this is a rock, so we have a wall kit, but with the rocks and wall kits, we can convert to fire kits to build fires. So wherever I did with my axe. Finding fire kits, finding wall kits is one way to acquire them, but you can also create them by doing this, which would be cutting a tree, cutting a log, cutting a firewood into the required item. And now we got a wall kit. As you've seen, you can transform the wall kits into fire kits. So that's just, it's up to you. It's your preference how you do it. Then we would continue along the path to build our wall. Let's go over stealth actions. We will snatch our clothes up quickly again. I mean our items, get our clothing. Alrighty, we got clothing on. Stealth actions is going to work in a way of you'll have this little eye on. And the eye means that they're facing your direction. Not necessarily that they can see you, but that there's a chance of being seen. So right, and if they see you, then they will kill you. Or they'll attack you. I mean they'll kill you. But there's another way of stealth. So like kinda like behind this wall, I'm here behind this wall. You can look over the top and we can go in these bushes. Alright, if you're inside the bush whenever they're not looking at you, they won't be able to see you while you're in the bush. If they see you go in the bush, then they'll definitely be able to see you still. kind of like this. So he knows I'm in there. It's got some logic behind it. And see how they like try to weave you and so on. Yeah. So that's stealth mechanics. And one thing also I should throw in is that your health system, uh, it saves whenever you leave the game. So whatever health you were at and all that stuff when you left last, it loads back up. That's why if you die, you're gonna come back in low life. You can start new. The confirmations, we already went over that. We'll go over the revised tutorial and on-screen usage revision. So this is the part now, I've been skipping it a lot, I didn't touch on it. So the basic controls, key controls, uh, tells you WASD, so on. Now it's hard to remember, right? But we can check that out in our inventory, in our pause menu though. First time we look at an item, it tells us how to interact. Picking up an item and adding it to your inventory, simply look at an item in the world with your cursor, prompted, press the F key, transfer it to your item. Holding an item into your inventory, holding an item in your hands. If you want to hold an item in your hands, instead of placing it in your inventory, hold the F key while looking at the item. This will click directly to your hands. You can press tab to open your inventory. The drag and drop and equip. Interacting with items. All items displayed in your inventory or nearby can be interacted with by using the left mouse button. Dragging an item out of the inventory grid will drop it on the ground or in the world. You're limited inventory space, so be mindful of what your gem carry. Inventory layout. Items you've collected will appear on the right-hand side of the screen within the inventory grid, and the items you're currently wearing are on the top middle, inside of your hands, or in the bottom. Each clothing slot represented by a specific image. Items located on the left are on the ground. They're vicinity items. You press tab to close your inventory. So holding F will take the item straight to hand, while holding G will drop it, and pressing F will pick it up to your inventory, where you can press tab to open inventory and drag items around. If it's not in your inventory, but say it's on the table in front of me, I can pick those items up too from the world. Okay. You can also drop items. Dragging an item into your hand and holding the left mouse button will use the item. If it's consumable, you'll eat it or drink it, and or you'll be using a med kit. Hello. The on-screen tutorial will also show you how to use clothing items. When you pick clothing items up, how to equip clothing. Picking up a piece of clothing, dragging it into the slot, and clothing is used to keep the player from being cold and or wet. Firearms. Firearms also have a tutorial. They tell you by holding the F key you can enter combat mode. The left mouse button is your primary attack, while the right mouse button is your secondary attack while unarmed. When unarmed, both left mouse button and right mouse button will execute punches, and the shift plus either one will execute a kick. If the weapon is equipped, the right mouse button will take you into combat mode. You have to press R to reload. You can also hold F key to enter combat mode. If you're not in combat mode, the right mouse button will do a strike and enter combat mode. You don't have ammunition. If you don't have ammunition, you'll have to press the R key to reload. You'll be able to tell by the click when you try to shoot. Using a consumable item, that tells you how to use the consumable item. We went over that, but the tutorial will tell you. So storage containers are also deployable items. Just like tents. I can't figure out somewhere to put the tent, so. Axes. Tells you how to use axes. Wire and nails will be tells you how to use wire and nails as well. Can also tell you how to use deployables when you pick them up. Firewood, wall kits. Every item in game has a tutorial to tell you how to use it. Crouching, and so on. Mastery starts whenever you hit this part in the game. You become less tutorialized and less guided and more reliant on yourself. Mastery is once you leave the game or leave the tutorial area. So this will be your last challenge, introduction to sneak, and then you're in the world. Exploration will be what you have to master mostly. Combat and survival, they come second, just because you must explore in order to survive. The on-screen items and weapon revision come into the same category. Now we'll do a complete playthrough of the game from start to finish. Oh yeah, and then the win. I can continue testing zone or main menu. And it will return me to the main menu by itself if I don't choose one. I almost forgot to let the windscreen show me its options. So that's Cradle of Ash. There's a little more exploration we can do. I'll try to just get some food and do the exploration side of it instead. Go and check out the world. Get some clothing on too. One of the cool parts about the exploration side is that we'll be able to find more clothing than the original clothing. Find a lot of different things actually to make our storage containers and whatnot. We can find more storage containers and more food. And I'll just kind of put on whatever clothing I find while I'm finding it. So we can kind of explore that. Med kits. One thing about clothing is they protect you in a different amount. They'll protect you in different ways from the infected when they attack you. We also got this guy. The thing about these guys is they don't play a real pivotal role, but they will actually take stuff out of the world. There's supposed to be 3 logs here, a gun, I believe, and a magazine. Yeah, they'll pick stuff up, they'll take it for themselves. This is his camp. And you can actually kill them too and take their stuff. So he's got the pistol, the logs, the water, and everything, like I mentioned before. It's pretty interesting stuff. Everything required to complete the game is outside of the tutorial level as well. It's not just in the tutorial. We can also come up here. It's just a cool little Easter egg. Oops. I'm almost out of water. Not really a lot. Basically, it'd be the same process as the tutorial, but on a bigger scale. You'll have to actually explore and find the items, and everything is out here. Like I said, you could find everything, and you have all the means to either win or keep playing. There's plenty of trees, plenty of materials for playing the game and building a base and surviving. Drop that there for a sec. I believe the last step would be just to go up here and light the fire. You could go make a fire in the world with the methods shown in the tutorial by cutting down a tree and so on. There's also a freely available fire up here that the NPC happens to be using. He was using. And so he's also got a tent. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why it doesn't want me to place it on the roof, but it's okay. And the same as previous. You can just keep playing or go back to the main menu and so on. Oh no! Died. Well, that's the respawn as well. Respawn, you spawn nearby, or you can start over. So, don't need to lose progress. I believe that is a complete review of Cradle of Ash.